Hey there, everybody. This is TJ Fowler for Skullbanger Media. I am here in Nashville, Tennessee with Marco Hietala of Nightwish. This is a very special occasion. I think this is your first time in Tennessee, I believe.
I believe it is, yeah. I don't think I've been in Nashville ever before myself, yeah.
Have you taken in any of the city or anything yet?
I did go for a walk yesterday, also did some shopping today.
Yeah.
I mean, it's closed. The tour in US is starting to close down. We got 4 last shows. I got some budding teenagers at home who would be very pleased if I bring them something. So I did some shopping. And also saw the Nashville Broadway with all the bars and bands playing and all that, which was a very lively sight.
Great.
Seemed like a great town to be in, for instance, Friday night.
Yeah, always. Wild man right here. But before we get started, Marco, I want to present to you and the band. This is from my hometown of Jamestown, Tennessee, from the Highland Manor. It's Tennessee's oldest winery. It's their muscadine wine.
All right.
And
White table wine.
Yeah, it's a little bit of that southern hospitality that we're supposed to be known for here.
Thank you. I know that there are some wine connoisseurs in the band who might appreciate this.
Great.
I mean, my active career as alcohol drinker is somewhat over already. I'm sorry to say, but I'll give this to the guys and they'll be really happy.
Great. Awesome. Awesome. All right, so now you're here promoting your new album, Endless Forms Most Beautiful.
Yep.
Okay, now that was a little bit of a departure thematically for you guys because you decided to kind of focus a little bit on evolution and Darwinism.
Yeah.
Now, it's not an album like you take a scientific journal and put music to it because you got your lyrical themes involved in it. And I know you took a little criticism from some people about that, but I personally thought it was really good. But what led you to kind of have a little bit of a shift in thematic tone here?
Okay, that is mostly because of Tuomas, of course, because he writes the most of the lyrics or most of the music and all that. So he's been into this evolutionary scientific thing for some while, also read books of Richard Dawkins and all that.
Sure.
And then came up with this, that okay, we've been pretty fantastical in the past days, so what if we tried this to escape into the reality for a while? And to me it was totally fine because I've been kind of a scientific geek myself ever since I was a kid. Ever since the first time I got into a planetarium when I was a kid in Tampere in Finland, and used to own all kinds of star maps and books about cosmology. And so scientific approach is no stranger to me, at least, and it seemed that not to the rest of the band either. Of course, I was reading Thomas's lyrics with a kind of I trust his ability to write, but since the subject is different, I was reading it through with the critical eye.
Sure.
So in order not to resort to some kind of a cheesy pseudoscience or
hollow earth and all that.
all that. But basically, there is a lot of wondrous stuff there which you can put down pretty poetically and inspire thoughts and stories without getting away from the scientific facts that we know these days.
Well, yeah, and I thought that was pretty good because, a lot of time when you hear science talk, we're just walking dust and then we die and fade away. You guys kind of put a poetic touch to, a lot of, it's not a hard science album to where you feel like you're reading a science textbook.
No, it's not a science preacher book or anything like that.
So, good. Now, as I mentioned a minute ago, I know this is your first time in Tennessee, and it's kind of a coincidence because this is your first album where you kind of touch on these themes like Darwinism, evolution, stuff.
Yeah.
Tennessee has got a history with this too. This was the battleground state in 1925. It's called the Scopes Tribe, where it was determined if evolution could be taught in the public schools nationwide.
All right.
So it's kind of an interesting coincidence that you're here now, and we're in the Bible Belt. The Bible Belt.
Yeah, I do know about that.
So I didn't know. Have you had any people come up and say, "God bless you, Marco," or "Bless your heart"? Any bless your hearts or anything like that?
Well, I mean, it's a compliment, or
sure,
and all that. So I take it as it comes, even though I'm not really that much of a godly person myself. But I mean, if you got your life here and now, and it lasts for a certain while, it's still, from my perspective, it doesn't change my attitude about how to deal with your friends and family and all that. It's nice to be good.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah. It doesn't make me self-centered or anything that everything is for me as long as I last. No.
Right.
I mean, it would be boring. It would be lonely.
Yeah, sure. Well, now, as everybody knows, this is the first studio album with Floor. And I've seen her live, several times she came in and done a live show, but this is the first studio album. Now, I know a lot of times when a new member comes in, there's a transition time, how they sync up and how you write in studios and things like that. How was the transition with Flora? Because she's very good vocalist and stuff.
I definitely agree.
Yes, and but how does she perform in the studio as opposed to some of your previous singles?
I think we had a pretty good studio session. This was the first time for me, and I guess with her as well, that having the two vocalists in the band, we were actually at the studio almost did all the recordings almost at the same time, so that she would be doing some lead, I would be figuring harmonies, we would be changing ideas through talkback. Terrell was recording, Thomas was kind of producing and throwing in comments and writing down notes, which lines were good and blah blah and all that, and it was really fruitful.
Right.
We really got nailed down most of the important parts for one song first, doing both of us the vocals, and then moving on to the next one. And it was easy, fruitful, funny, touching at times and all that, and
Great.
Really nice way to work. And also at the rehearsal, we had the whole band with the vocalist Floor, straight from the starting on the rehearsal. So that also gave us kind of a holistic perspective of the whole music, everything. Got a chance to try out some of the harmony stuff, think it out already in the rehearsals and everything. So it made it kind of a more like a group band as a unit effort.
Great.
Well, which is something that I think you can hear on the album pretty much as well.
Yeah.
Way better than on the albums that we did before.
Sure. Now, everybody's unique in how they write. You're unique in how you write your songs. Tuomas is unique in how he writes his songs. And what's something unique about Floor that she brought to the band in terms of like performance or maybe songwriting? Did she get to contribute much in terms of writing anything, or just how she performs her talent, I guess you could call it?
Well, she's been in bands where she's been part of the music writing, also lyric writing and all that, and that also shows in the fact that she's also got a lot of imagination how to do stuff.
Right.
So you give her an idea and she comes up with something that this might actually fit better and all that, and a lot of times it does. And that is how we usually rehearse and arrange stuff, so that everybody got we go through the songs with a kind of a tight comb.
Sure.
And then everybody arranges the stuff so that it fits their playing style, vocal style, or whatever, and we see how it fits together. If it fits, then we got the best of all worlds in there.
Right.
And Floor's been very much part of that kind of a group effort, and also concentrating on her individual parts, how to make them even better and all that.
Sure.
And it's brilliant.
Great, awesome. Now, to you, what has been the most challenging song to perform off this album in terms of studio or live? Is there a song that's like more difficult than others? I know you got your version of a Rhyme of an Ancient Mariner song, that 20-minute song at the end down there.
Actually, the greatest show on earth isn't that hard to perform. Okay. I mean, there's some changes and some background tape stuff and all that, but we're pretty used to that. I'd say the hardest things for me were, because I got a couple of really fast changes from bass to the acoustic guitar, and that is why I also actually have a couple of double necks, very custom made with Warwick and Frommes, which has both the bass and the guitar, so I can do those switches really fast. But it's a couple of seconds matter. If I miss the button where I'm changing the thing, I'm going to screw up. So
get that timing right, man.
So those are kind of a technical things. But I don't know if the songs themselves are that hard to perform. I think they're pretty nicely laid down. Because we did have a good rehearsal period as well.
Right. Now on this album, you guys, Nightwish is kind of at least partially credited with the big operatic, I guess the symphonic metal, bringing that to the popularity masses that it did. I remember in '99 you came out, and after that everybody was trying to do it a lot.
Yeah, the band was at the forefront.
Yes, and when Floor come in, I think some people were a little surprised that on this album there's parts of where she gets the operatic vocals a little bit, but really I think, in my opinion, the album showcases a very warm, gentle, intimate voice from her. Now, was that a conscious effort to kind of, let's do it this way, or is this just kind of what came out? Because to me, if it was opera vocals on everything, I think it wouldn't have fit the songs, in my opinion.
Yeah, I totally agree. And also this soft and sensitive touch that is there a lot was something that we found out song by song, basically. That what is the dynamics, how hard or how low you're gonna go, and all that. And this is how it turned out. There are, of course, Floor is well known about her powerhouse abilities to be able to do loud and clear and high for a long time and all that. And there's some stuff of that, of course, on the album, actually quite a lot. But there's also that sensitive style, a few operatic pieces here and there, especially in the background vocals and all that. But yeah, we always write the music so that how would it feel the best for us at first,
right.
And then if people like it, it's a great bonus. Sure. We stay honest, our integrity is untouched. Sure. And then when people like it, it's something that we can totally stand behind and also play live there and have a good vibe with it.
Right. Oh, God, look at my sheet now. Okay. Okay, so what in your mind does Endless Forms most beautiful? What sets it apart from some of your other albums that were saying? Someone sees it on the shelf and they're like, this looks interesting. Maybe I should buy it. What do you think would make a person buy this album?
Endless Forms most beautiful. If you're interested in some rock and roll music that has a really good kick and punch to it, but also a lot of depth, you can go back to it for quite a while and find new things and all that. Then I think this is something for you.
Yes. Now, this is something I've been wanting to ask since I've been back in America. European crowds versus American crowds, they react very differently, I think, in terms of at concerts. You know, I've been to festivals in Europe, I've been to shows here. How has the American crowds responded to the new album, and what songs do they respond to the most?
They really like the shows so far. I don't know, one of the new things, for instance, Alpenglow, which I thought was a bit poppy, but also realized now playing it live that this song can actually be quite straightforward rock and roll also from the album, and that has been surprisingly going down really well.
Great.
Which is always great to find out when that not everything goes as you expected.
Sure. Yeah, you can't draw a map to everything, can you? How it goes. You know?
Yeah, and then there's also, of course, the greatest show on earth, which we don't play through all the way, but still all the like the band things, the essentials are there, and there's a couple of really flamboyant choruses where we do quite long harmonies on that high and strong end of Floor's voice and mine as well. And those seem to be working on the people really well. That when there's a big punch from the band and both vocalists go at it with the so to speak, with lungs full.
Man of war muscles.
Yeah. They seem to work well.
Yes, great. Now, ran into some guys out here from Louisiana. You said back in about 2008 you was down there, you ate some spicy food.
Okay.
Have you stayed away from the spicy foods? They said it kind of messed you up down there.
I don't really like to stay away from spicy food.
Okay.
I like chilies, I like garlic, I like curry and all that, so if I get a chance I will eat it.
Okay.
But of course on touring there's also a lot of berries, fruits and Greek yogurt.
Yeah.
I mean this is the dates can be a bit taxing as well.
Sure. Well, before we get out of here, Marco, I know you live in Kuopio, I live in Kuopio now, but is there any message you want to give back to your hometown fans and Finnish fans out there?
Hometown fans? Oh, within a week I'm going to be coming back home. I hope you arrange for me to have some swimming weather soon.
Yeah, I hope. It was a little cold when I left.
Yeah, I know. I was talking to home a while back and it was from 10 to 15 Celsius. So I'd like to see the 25 after a week or so.
Well, you're in it right now, man. It's like a freaking walking sauna.
Yeah, this is good. I enjoy this. But there's not those freshwater lakes where you can swim, which are clean and all that.
Oh, you gotta be careful here. Del Hollow Lake is a dirty lake here, man.
Yeah.
So you get grime all over you. But anyway, Marco, I'll let you get back to your stuff, and thanks you again for your time.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
Thanks you, T. Thank you, TJ.
No problem.